We will be dealing with constructive journalism. I'm sure that all of you are familiar with at least the basic facts about this concept, but not only about constructive journalism as it is known today or as it was presented, but about the future of journalism, considering producing content which will be engaging the audience, which will give something more than that what is offered by usual commercial media, tabloid medias, something more than scandals. Of course, it is a big challenge also because the fact that habits of the audience is radically changing. Yesterday, also on the European board, you could hear that today audience is not ready anymore to follow us. We have to find them. Being constructive, giving opportunity to present possible solutions, promote public discussion, promoting analysis, promoting serious, smart people who could really make a change, would possibly in the future be maybe one of the strongest tools for public media. A lot of analysis is done. I'm familiar with one made by BBC, which proved that audience is always ready to listen and to view even very serious topics if they are presented smartly, if they are presented on engaged way, let's say like this. And also important not to forget, if that material is offered to them in a way they like it. So it is also question of the strategies how to reach our audience. Of course, like all other concepts, the constructive journalism also has some weaknesses. We can also think today of, from my experience, from countries in which politicians are quite strong, we face very often with tactics in which being constructive in reality means concept of censorship. I remember one colleague of mine was faced with his boss who yelled at her, "Why do you have to make a story about how Prime Minister bought too expensive BMW? Be constructive, make a story about how our industry is growing," and so on. So it's very important to be aware that constructive journalism is not good news production, infotainment or stuff like that. And it can function very well together with investigative journalism, with watchdog concept. It goes one by another. Again, it is the question just of giving space and use that space very smartly for the people who think that could offer to society some benefit, solution, concepts of improvement. It's also very important because if we don't do that, if we don't think about it, the audience will just leave us. Johan yesterday said that we should be aware of Facebook, Google and different other platforms of that concept, which will be our biggest enemies. In some countries already, in some other in the future. But also we should be aware that if we do not follow audience, they will use these kind of platforms, communities, to lock themselves into bubbles, surrounded only by their friends with whom they share some attitudes, being isolated from the topics considering the rest of the communities. It makes them different, it makes them ignorant, and all in all, it is doing nothing good for the society. One of the options offered today will be different aspects of constructive journalism, different elements which can grow together. Our first speaker will present his project. Later we will have some presentation, analyzing also data journalism, analyzing engagement of the audience, and everything what goes with that. We will be very happy to listen to your questions after each presentation. Maybe we will even force you to ask something if nobody raise hand immediately. So at the beginning, please welcome my colleague Felice from RTPF from Belgium. Give welcome.